Right, God bless you, family. What's going on? God bless you. You know what I'm saying? It's still Walker, Texas Ranger around here. You know what I mean? Uh, the eyes of the Ranger are definitely upon you and upon this harassment. But the thing about it, family, the plausible deniability is very crafty. It's very organized. It's very organized chaos. Like it's meant for you not to be able to solve it. It's meant for you to dig deep in the rabbit hole and try to figure out who's all behind this. It's meant for you to be frustrated with close ones and family, and people who you think is part of it that show you love and that they shouldn't be part of it. It's meant for that. It's meant to drive your psyche, you know what I mean, to break. It's meant to break your mind. But the thing about it, if you can't report it, you shouldn't retaliate. You know what I'm saying? Your main focus shouldn't be on the plausible deniability. Your main focus shouldn't be on trying to convince people the unconvincible. Trying to convince people the unconvincible is just not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to convince a dedicated Muslim to be Christian. It's like trying to convince a dedicated Christian to be Muslim. You know what I'm saying? It's like dedicating a dedicated New Age person. You know what I'm saying? That what they're doing is witchcraft. You know what I mean? They're not going to see it like that. You're not going to be able to convince the unconvincible. Only God can move their heart. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Your job is not to try to convince people. Your job is to survive. That's the name of the game. Your job is survival. Your job is not to let the plausible deniability run you off the edge. Your job every day is not to react in the wrong way. Your job every day is to think with a logical mind. You know what I'm saying? And for those who believe in God, your job is to continue to have a relationship with God. For those who don't believe in God, your job is still to survive. You know what I'm saying? You're still human. You know what I mean? You still have some type of purpose in this world. So your job is to survive. You know what I mean? Now, if somebody, now when it comes to the evidence part, why do TIs do documentations on plausible deniability? To convince people. But we can't convince people the unconvincible. So all we're doing is giving the agents and shields more information to use to distort the truth, and we're giving more validations to other TIs that's experiencing similar harassments. You know what I'm saying? Just convincing them like, he's going through what I'm going through, and that gives comfort to the real TIs. Believe it or not, it does. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, what TIs is misleading other TIs, or agents is misleading other TIs. They're basically telling them to keep documenting the plausible deniability. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of nothing. It's really a bunch of nothing. Once it comforts the TI, but it's really a bunch of nothing when it comes to the world, when it comes to the people that you actually encounter, and you know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I mean, not really part of the TI community. But it does support. But the real support for the TI community is to open the TIs to what really matters, is to survive, to not react. And if somebody does something where it's clearly breaking the law, it's not plausible, it can't be denied. If somebody breaks the law in a way where it can't be denied, then you report it. That's the key. That's when you report. So you have to be your own detective in this thing. And the rule of it is you have to individually, you know what I'm saying, pinpoint the problem from an individual that's harassing you, and they're actually breaking the law in a way where it can't be denied. Once they break the law in a way that it can't be denied, you can report it. But remember, if you decide to go in that lane of reporting, you know what I'm saying? If you decide to go in that lane, you decide to live in that law-abiding citizen bubble, then you shouldn't be out here breaking no laws either. If you're a person that breaks the law, then this doesn't apply to you. If you're a person that's part of a gang, this doesn't apply to you. Now, if you're part of a gang, nobody should be receiving this type of harassment. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the code, you know what I mean, of the streets. If you're breaking the law, then you know what I'm saying, you go off a different infrastructure. You feel in your mind you're an outlaw above the law, then you handle it the way that the streets will handle it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just being wise and being smart in this thing. And but once you step in that law-abiding citizen, you have to remain in there. You have to remain in that bubble because soon as you step out of the bubble, they're going to report you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? To report you. That's the whole name of the game. They want you to be so focused and consumed by the plausible deniability where you break the law, where you do something out of character, and now they can report you. So it's a detective game. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna break first? Now you're just one individual. You're going against a whole collective of people. You know what I'm saying? You're going against a whole different levels of society, different walks of life. People that's getting paid are compensated, benefiting some type of way for your demise. You know, they're living off the target in some type of way, some type of form, some type of fashion. So they, of course, they don't want it to stop. You got to remember, a lot of Americans are lazy. You know what I'm saying? Especially the black community. You know what I mean? You know, black community, we're very good at entertaining when it comes to the entertainment section. Sense of humor, athleticism, talking, things like that. We dominate in that type of field. You know what I'm saying? We dominate when it comes to the entertainment factor. But outside of that and certain things, now I got some black people that's good at the political, you know what I mean, stuff like that, and good lawyers and good doctors and things like that. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the entertainment, we dominate. But as far as the black people as a whole, when you look around, black people are lazy. You get what I'm saying? Like, and any way that they can try to get paid, you know what I'm saying, off leading somebody to their demise, they looking at it as like, check, I don't have to work as hard. Or, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people just go along to get along. That's just how it is. You get what I'm saying? So you can't really go against a whole force of people aggressively, go try to convince people the unconvincible, start a revolution. You know what I mean? It's very far-fetched. And a system designed, sophisticated like this, you know what I'm saying? It's very far-fetched. But individually, you know what I'm saying? If you know someone is harassing you, not just the plausible deniability, not just because you want to lock them up because they wearing red or because they got one headlight, you know what I'm saying? Or you at a grocery store and when you turn out the aisle, they're bumping into you with the carts, or they got their children blocking you, you know what I'm saying? Are little plausible deniabilities like that. Or there's a lot of people with dog walkers, people feel like they're following you. That's not enough. If they actually do something out the way, you know, with the directed conversation, that's still plausible deniability. You know what I'm saying? You can overlook that. You know what I mean? Wow, how did they know that? It doesn't matter. Keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? You can overlook that. But when they break the law, when you catch them stealing, if they put their hands on you, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If they verbally harass, you know what I mean, you, or if you can catch them in a way, if they blasting their music at a certain time of night, just certain things that's undeniable that can get their behinds in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. You got to report. You know what I mean? The object of the game is not to retaliate and not to react. Object of the game is to be patient, survive, and if you can actually catch them breaking a law where it can't be denied, you're in the green light. The plausible deniability leaves you in the red light because you can't prove. It's unprovable. That's why it's plausible deniability. It will get denied every single time. You know what I mean? All it's gonna do is make you frustrated with people. Hey, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a little bit more patient than other people. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they do mess with your money. They mess with your mail. You know what I'm saying? Like they mess with stuff. You know, the long lines. They can make it where people crowd the lines where you at. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to cash your check, you trying to handle business, they know that it's a day that you're trying to. Never try to do everything in one day. That's one thing, family. Never try to do one thing and all in one day. Don't wait till the last minute to get things done. You know what I'm saying? Always give yourself a amount of time to do a couple errands and that's it. When you try to get everything done, it's going to be a drawn out, tiresome day. And it's just leading to frustration. It's just little micro tactics to lead you towards frustration so that you can't think clearly and boom, you start acting out of frustration and stuff. And they just dump on you plausible deniability. So when you do try to present it, all it's going to do is get denied. The only thing you're doing is giving agents more information on how they can distort this truth, and you're giving validation to TIs, which is pretty cool to give validation to TIs, but just know that's really all you're doing. You know what I'm saying? The plausible deniability still gonna stand as plausible deniability. Now, if you want some justice, you're gonna have to just do that individually. You know what I'm saying? And that's just reporting people that's breaking the law that can't be denied. That's your justice. Anything outside of that, it ain't happening, Captain. You gotta just stay focused, do what you need to do. You know what I mean? If you believe in God, keep a relationship with God. Stay out the way. Don't be in people's way. And if you do decide to report and be on that Walker Texas Ranger, you know what I'm saying? Be on that Walker Texas Ranger, you have to remain a law-abiding citizen, no matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? So just with that, if you go live with a lot of black people in communities and stuff like that, they may look down on you just by being a law-abiding citizen, but you got to do what you got to do to survive. With that being said, family, stay alive, survive, thank God, and thrive. Peace.